afternoon everyone, Beth here from Winning Creations in Brisbane, Australia. Thanks for joining me for another quick video. Today I'm going to be doing this shabby chic card. It's been a while since I've done a video, but I felt it was time to get back in there and just get started. So with some of the beautiful new products in the new catalogue I wanted to share with you. This is the beautiful new Press Petals washi tape. Now these are the 2 rolls that you get, and we're going to be using that today. Very easy to make, and I wanted to share with you on how to make this flower. So all the directions and the supplies that we're going to be using are on my blog site, and when I edit the video hopefully I'll have them down the bottom of the screen for you. So the card base is crumb cake. This card is actually done in Whisper White, and I'm going to use the way I show you to do the card today. I will be using Very Vanilla. I just thought just for something a little bit different to this one, I thought I'd do it in the vanilla colour. So let's get started. So this is the Press Petal washi tape. So what I'm going to do first of all is to show you how to put together this flower. Now I've got my 1-inch circle punch here, and I'm just going to punch out a circle out of scrap. I'm going to get my trusty picker tool, and what you'll need to do is find where there is, I don't know whether you can see this, where there is a full petal here. So, and you're just going to lift that up. Now these are sticky on all over the back. So if you just use your tool just to lift up that first one and peel it back, and I usually put the white just so the white comes down to the, I don't know whether you can see that on the camera, but a little bit blurry. You can see the white of the inside of the petal lines up with just on the outside of the circle. So I'm going to go ahead and put all those petals. I'm going to use 6 petals on one flower. You can do as many as you like. You can do 5, you can do a 6 petal one, but for this particular one I'm going to do a 6 petal flower. So then we just overlap them like so. Okay. Okay, so there we have our 6 petal flower, which is really quite nice, just like that. But what I did was take a gold faceted gem, and I stuck that in the middle. And of course I had gold, but they come in clear as well. And there's some of the clear. Yes, you may think they're silver, but they're actually white, clear I should say. And you can colour them with your alcohol markers if you wish. But for this one today I'm just using a gold faceted gem, so I'll just put that aside for now, and we'll go ahead and get started on the card. So I've got my crumb cake cardstock, which I'm just I've taken an A4 oh, my flower stuck to my, there we go, onto my bone folder. My measurements will be there, but this card opens up this way. So I have taken a piece of A4 cardstock and cut it at 10.5, which is exactly half, that's centimetres, and that's for our card base. Then for our card front, I have a piece of Very Vanilla cardstock, which I'm going to run through the Big Shot using the Tin Tile 3D embossing folder, which is, I thought I had it down, yep, here it is, a lovely embossing folder, so I'll just go ahead and do that. Okay, so I've run that through the Big Shot. Now what we're going to do is distress the edges. I find I did have a distressing tool, but I had a big clean up in my craft room the other day, And of course, I don't know where it is now. So we're just going to take our scissors and we're just going to go ahead and distress these all the way along. It'll just get some of that fluffiness from the paper out. So, and if you're having trouble, what I do is I just go ahead and go along each edge of the paper and loosen up the fibres and give it a good roughing up. And it doesn't matter if you cut the paper or if it's in dents in some places more than others. But if you go ahead and do that to all four sides, and I'll speed up the camera for you so you don't have to see me do this. What to do is now is you will have also a piece of crumb cake, a square which is, oh, it's not exactly square, it's 7.5 I think by 7.5 by 6.5 centimeters, and then a piece of the Rococo Rose DSP, which is beautiful, and that's 6 by 7 centimeters. As I said, all the dimensions will be on my blog, and I'll go ahead and distress those. You'll find once you've finished distressing and all your little bits and pieces, you'll get a little bit of fluff, so just clean your work area. Now what I am going to do is use one of my little sponge daubers, and I have my crumb cake ink, and I'm just going to go ahead and just age the sides a little bit all the way around on all your pieces of cardstock. Not your actual card, but all these pieces. Then we're going to take, when you get your pressed petal washi tape, you'll also get this little roll of, I don't know what you'd call it, it's all that I know of love I learn of you, and I know all that friends ever knew. Well, anyway, and it's got numbers and measurements and everything on it. Anyway, it's in a very similar colour to crumb cake or soft suede, so any of those colours, and I'm just going to run a strip of it down just a bit off centre, oops, and just tuck those ends over. I love washi tape, it's easy to use and it's very effective. Okay, so that's going to go on there. Then what we're going to do next is these cards here, these bits of cardstock I should say, are going to be layered like that, and then we're going to have our flower. But what we do need to do is punch out some of the leaves, which are done using the sprig punch and the leaf punch. I'm going to go ahead and do those, but back again. So what I did, I have punched out 2 gold sprigs from the sprig punch, and I have cut out 2 leaves, lots of leaves from the leaf punch, and as you can see I've aged them with the crumb cakes ink using my sponge dauber, just like we did around the outside of the card. But what I will show you is just to give these leaves a little bit of detail, is I've just taken the bone folder and just curled them up at the ends a bit. I don't worry about doing the gold sprigs. You can manipulate those around to suit. So I just give those a little bit of a curl. Now also in that little break I went and got some of my Rococo Rose scalloped linen thread ribbon, which is available now, which is absolutely beautiful. I absolutely adore it, and this has to be one of it is my favorite color in the new In Colors. It reminds me of Sweet Sugar Plum that was out a couple of years ago, which was my all-time favorite color, and this is the closest, I think, the closest that Stampin' have come to my Sweet Sugar Plum, and I love it. So your DSP is double-sided, so this has got a lovely script on it, and that's what we're, so it's about time we put it all together now. So what I might do is I'll just put this ribbon on the back here. So what I do is I just line up approximately where I want it, a little bit of my snail on that end. Now you'll see I've cut it extra long, but there's a reason for that. Right there and there, and I'll just snip that off. And then what I'm going to do is tag and tail these bits, and probably have cut that a little bit too big, but that doesn't matter. So when we go ahead and we put our little bouquet together, let's call it a bouquet. I like a bouquet. What girl doesn't like a nice bouquet? Is I'm going to have them hanging down a bit like that, which is probably longer than what it was in my original card. I had them just in amongst the flower, but you know what? I don't mind that at all. And so then we will have that. Let's just set it up to how we're going to put it all together. A bit up there, and a bit down here. There's no right or wrong. It's totally up to your imagination and your creativity on how you want this to go. But what I would say is that don't forget to leave room for your sentiment there. And the other thing that we are going to use, put these together, are the new brads that Stampin' Up! Have. But before we do that, I want to tail it with our triple banner punch. Another great punch. What I do is I line up, just put it in backwards, and I just line up and just get that two ends together. It does have the different measurements there, but I wanted a thinner one and it doesn't quite fit, so I just put it in and I line it up, line the two corners up, and it doesn't have to be exact. So then you end up with your two tails like that. I've missed a little bit there, so I can always go in and do that again, but there we go. That'll do. And then I'll stamp that now. Now this, I'm using a happy birthday sentiment. It is from one of my retired sets from Stampin' Up, but it's just fitted nicely in here. It's just a happy birthday. It was from a Happy Happenings, I think it was. And it's a set that I just can't part with because it has some great sentiments. So I'm just going to stamp that in there. Now I'll put it on crooked on my block, so I have to make sure that it goes on straight, which I'm pretty happy with that. So then that's going to go together, and I have them tilted so everything's out of whack. I don't have a straight eye. So I'm just going to punch a hole for my brad, and I'm just going to use the smaller one, and I'm just going to punch it in there and get one of my brads. These are great brads. The thing I like about them most of all is that they have a longer back on them. A lot of the brads that you get have little short stems. These have long ones, which are great. You can put more through them, and they're not as fiddly. Like the ones with the little short stems are very fiddly. These ones are great. You've got plenty of room to play with, and yeah, that's just one of the things that I liked about them. Yeah, I like my brads. I like my brads. Okay, so that's the card all done. So it's just a matter of putting it all together now. So as you can see, this is pretty sticky. So, but, and I'm pretty happy with that. I can put extra glue behind them if you want, but as I said, the flowers are pretty sticky, and if you wanted them to sit up, you don't have to stick it all the way down. But I'm pretty happy with that. I'll see how it goes anyway. So I'll just put a bit of glue on here, just in the center there, because what we're going to do is offset it, and then that's going to go, I might just do that down there, because those ribbons are, yeah, I might end up trimming those off a bit anyway later on, but I'm going to go ahead and glue that. No right or wrong, glue as you feel free. Glue as you like, I should say. As I said, there's no right or wrong. And then what we're going to do with this is, you can do this any way you like. In fact, I might just trim that one down a bit. Oops, nearly cut my finger. And I could use dimensionals. I could use, in fact, what I might do is use a dimensional to stick it down with, as well as that other little bit here, just so that it stands up a little bit, and I think that will hold that in place nicely. So there, and then we'll put one here, and we'll put one over there. I find these little backings all through the house. I think my vacuum cleaner's full. Let's might turn that. Okay, so I'm just going to put that up in there. Okay, and there's the card done. So all we have to do now is attach it to the front of our card, which is easily done. Now that little bit did come off, so I think I'm going to have to glue that. I think it's a little bit heavy for, yeah. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue on there, because you're not going to see this, it's going to be tucked under the flower, but it's just going to need a little bit more strength. And there we go. And as I said, you can put more glue on that if you wish, and then just give it a good press down and make sure that that glue holds. Now some people will call this a shabby chic card, some people would call it a vintage card. There's the one done with the white, and that's the one done with the very vanilla. I quite like them both. I'm really happy with the way they've turned out. I hope you liked today's project, and if you'd like any of these products, I'll have them listed on my blogs page, and you can shop at my shop there. Don't forget to like my page or subscribe to my channel. I would love to see any of your projects, and I hope you join me again soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.